Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to see if we could take on Pokemon Snakewood with only a Bulbasaur. That is correct. The rules are as follow. I'm only allowed to use the one Bulbasaur. I am allowed to carry other Pokemon to do HMs, such as Cut, Surf, Rock Smash, etc. And since it is Generation 3, I am allowing myself to do the Zigzagoon exploit until about mid-game, and then I'm only allowed to carry one Zigzagoon on me. Rules have been stated, so let's get started. So, I get my Bulbasaur, and I name it Subscribe, but, oh, wait. Oh, that's right, it's Bulbasaur, because this Bulbasaur is a zombie, that's right. So after I check my Bulbasaur, I'm thinking to myself, well, this is interesting, I hope we'll be able to work with this. And then I go, and I take on the zombie. After I find the zombie in front of the professor, I see he also has a Bulbasaur, so this is just a slap fest of two Bulbasaurs. We just spam tackle. I also check its sprite, because for some reason the back sprite is just the normal shiny back sprite for Bulbasaur. I don't know, maybe I'll re-sprite Bulbasaur later on for you guys. But we just get a slap fest between these two Bulbasaurs. I then train my Bulbasaur to level 10 and I take on my rival, who has a Sneasel. I try using Leech Seed and fail. I go for 3 Vine Whips and just murder this thing. I also watch a man die in front of me. That's great. And I go and take on the first gym. He sends out a Houndour, so I set up Leech Seed and I go for Poison Powder, so I'm just ultimately set to not die. I go for Vine Whip. Tackle, and I'm scared because I see Ember, and Ember does have a 10% chance to burn, but in this ROM, it's 20. Yay. We do take down the Houndour, and I see a Dirt Crow, so I start off with Leech Seed, and he hits me with a Gust, and I drop pretty low. I Poison Powder it till I can start healing, and then I just spam Tackle for game. After that wonderful gym battle, I didn't go to the next town, and I find my rival who's ready to fight. She has a Sableye, so I start off with Leech Seed, and I go for Vine Whip, whittling down Sableye so I can easily pick up a KO. She is now Shuppet. I go for Leech Seed one more time, and instead we're going to go for Vine Whip again, just whittling her down a bit more, and then that wonderful Sneasel comes out. I go for Leech Seed, no taunt this time, and we go for Vine Whip a few times to pick up a KO. I then meet my new rival, Mysterious Man, and I OHKO his weird Deoxys thingy with one Razor Leaf. I then help a girl who's being used like the Exorcist portal to let demons into the world. That's great. We just go for Razor Leaf and kill these mons real quick. After that, I stumble down a hill and I find the evil organization's leader, and she sends out a Moldorb. This is a steel poison type, by the way, so we can't poison it. We go for Leech Seed just to set up as it's toxing me, and we go for Razor Leaf, whittling it down. Don't worry, guys, she has full heals. Get used to that. A lot of these guys have full heals, and we just whittle it down with Razor Leaf. She then sends out Quillfish, and I do one Razor Leaf, almost picking up KO, having to do a second one, and she sends out a second Moldor. I go for Leech Seed, and I try to poison it, learning that it's Steel type, and then we Razor Leaf a few more times to pick up a swift KO. I then hear there's a survivor of my dad's gym, and we decide to go and take her on. We go for Leech Seed as she goes for a Fury. I go for Poison, trying to set up on me while she uses Swords Dance. I'm starting to get scared. I go for a few Vine Whips and then one Razor Leaf to pick up KO. She sends out Delcatty, and I go for a Leech Seed, just the same setup as always. Going for a Razor Leaf, missing. We go for a Razor Leaf, and I go to sleep. I guess I'm just sleeping while Leech Seed slowly sucks her life away. She does Double Slap, waking me up, and I pick up a swift KO. That's a lie. My script was worded wrong. That's great. There's my KO and the gym badge. With the gym badge, I get Surf, so I start surfing down to the next town, thinking to myself, man, this is going to be really weird. The fact that I've gotten Surf already, and I try to go take on the gym leader, and she tells me, hey, you can't fight me till you go deal with whatever's in the cave. So we find Meteor, the king of dragons, and he sends off this knockoff Charizard. So we go for Leech Seed and Poison Powder, and we start whittling him down with Razor Leaf. He can half health me with almost everything in his kit. He goes for a Super Potion here, and I just keep whittling him down with Leech Seed and Razor Leaf. He goes for Fly, hits me, and I kill him with Razor Leaf. So then we get to take on the gym leader, who starts off with Poochie, and I go for Razor Leaf, OHKOing her mon. She sends out Sneasel. I go for Leech Seed as she bulks up. I go for Poison Powder, so I have that nice heal and just whittlement. And I go for Razor Leaf as she's still just setting up with Bulk Up for some reason. We go for Vine Whip as she heals. We keep whittling her down. She goes for Slash, almost hurting me pretty bad. We go for Vine Whip here, picking up a KO on the Carvana. She sends out Luxray. So I Leech Seed while she bulks up, and we go yet again for Poison Powder, getting flinched. Instead, I was like, you know what, we're gonna do it again anyways. Why not? So we go for Vine Whip, whittling down this Luxray. When he's about to fall, she goes for a heal one more time, going for another heal. And I'm getting annoyed, so I just keep spamming Vine Whip. I had actually accepted I was going to lose this fight, but we somehow KO the Luxray, hitting a level off of us. She sends out Absol. We go for Leech Seed, and we're going to go for Poison Powder one more time. Kind of our standard combo. We're then going to just go for Vine Whip, slowly whittling this Mon down. She goes for a heal as it's about to die, and we pick up KO with the poison, and then she sends out this. This thing has Wonder Guard. So I go for Leech Seed and Poison Powder, and I can no longer hit this Pokemon. So I just sit there spamming Vine Whip, praying that it's just going to keep dying, so I lose out of PP points, and I go for Razor Leaf, just spamming it as it just slowly whittles itself to death. With the new gym badge, I hear news about my brother, so I rush over to the next town and get ambushed by some chefs. I then jump into the water and find the evil organization hideout? What? I go and make a deal with the boss that I'll fix his generator for him, and after 25 minutes of trying to find out what to do, he then boots me out of the ship because I fixed it for him. We get to the next town and my rival tells me that I need to go and solve a murder mystery for the electric gym leader. After solving the mystery, I find out that the electric gym leader is the one who committed the murder himself. So I go and confront him, and he sends out a level 100 Luxray and OHKOs me. I sneak back in and turn off his generators. None of his Mons are level 100, and we go and confront him one more time. He sends out Shinx, and I OHKO it Razor Leaf. He sends out Lantern, and I almost OHKO it with another Razor Leaf. It confuses me, but I land the Razor Leaf because we break through confusion. He then sends out Pikachu, and I'm thinking I could probably set up on Pikachu. I get Leech Seed off, and then we go for a nice little Poison Powder. We miss, but we break confusion. We go for Razor Leaf, OHKOing the Pikachu. He then sends out Jilteon. I go for another Razor Leaf. It does just above half, so it's a 3-piece. We go for another Razor Leaf, picking up the KO. He sends out Luxray. We OHKO out Razor Leaf, and then he sends out a Raikou. I'm like, what? A Raikou? So we go for Leech Seed, just kind of like whittle it down. We miss the first one. We land the second one, and I want to get some Poison Powder off. We land it perfectly, and then we just start spamming Synthesis and Razor Leaf so I can get my HP back, because this thing can almost kill me. He heals it one more time, but we just keep whittling it down for game. We now have to go and take on the 7 Deadly Sins. I find their boss, and he sends out Larvitar, and I OHKO it. After the 7 Deadly Sins, we then have to start doing their maze puzzle. And let me just say, this maze is super easy, and then I have to take on the boss again. Guess what we do? We OHKO Larvitar. I find my rival inside the cave, and I go and save him, and then he tells me that a mad scientist took his Pokewatch. Let me just say, I had to grind Bulbasaur to 55, and I actually have to soft reset this fight. If this Haunter uses Curse, I auto lose the fight. So I sit here, and I keep soft resetting over and over and over until I get the flawless run. 15 soft resets later, and we get the flawless run with a crit on Haunter, 2 Razor Leafs picking him up. He sends Kadabra out. I start spamming Razor Leaf. It takes 2 to KO Kadabra. He sends out Quillfish. I go for Razor Leaf, almost OHKOing it. I have to go for a second one to KO it, and then he sends out Baby Deoxys. I go for a Razor Leaf. He confused raised me, and I start spamming it. I'm flinching from Bite over and over and hitting myself with confusion. We finally break through and OHKO the Baby Deoxy. I tell my rival I got his Pokewatch back, and he says thank you, and then teleports me out of the cave so I can continue my story, and gives me the 4th gym badge. I find my rival outside in the desert area, and she starts out with a Sableye that fakes me out. I go for Razor Leaf, almost picking up a KO, and we go for one more. She detects, and Sandstorm takes her out. She then sends out Bayonet. I Razor Leaf, almost KOing it. We go for a second one, picking up that sweet, sweet KO. She then sends out Sneasel. Same thing, Razor Leaf, almost KO, and then comes out the Dusclops. I send out Razor Leaf, and we pick up our KO. I then climb this mountain, thinking I'm going to fight a boss, and instead I'm told, no, I need to fight the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So I go and train with the Malin monks to then learn how to harness my powers. He sends out Wobbuffet, I go for Razor Leaf, and he almost kills me on the second one. I Synthesis using Razor Leaf. Yay. He then sends out Celebi. I go for Poison Powder, it fails, so I go for Leech Seed, forgetting Celebi's a grass type. We go for Poison Powder one more time. He heals it. I'm like, you know what, screw it, Razor Leaf. And we just whittle down Celebi with Razor Leaf until it finally faints. This takes so long to do. I then find my rival, and lo and behold, no, she's not my rival. She's one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Let me talk about this fight for a minute, because this fight drove me insane. This fight took me 2 hours because of Gengar. Gengar has Hypnosis and Dream Eater. And let me just say, if I miss Razor Leaf, by the way, I have the most unlucky luck in this run. I have missed Razor Leaf so many times, but this Gengar can hit Hypnosis like it's 100% accuracy. So we go for Razor Leaf, he lands Hypnosis. I'm already ready to throw my controller. He goes for Sludge Bomb, does it twice. We still don't wake up. He goes for Dream Eater. I'm like, I want to quit. I wake up, landing Razor Leaf twice to pick up the KO on him. She sends out Bayonet. I go for Synthesis to get my HP back. Uses Glare. I'm paralyzed. I go for Razor Leaf. which is fine. I'm just getting some para hacks. I'm just very unlucky, apparently. We pick up the KO. Dusclops comes out, goes for Protect while I go for Razor Leaf. So I go for Leech Seed. I get paralyzed. We go for Leech Seed, setting it up so I can build some HP when it decides to play Smogon. So we use Poison Powder, poison it, and we go for Razor Leaf to knock it out with the poison. Then comes out Zoroark. I just Razor Leaf, we get hit with Paralysis. Razor Leaf 1 almost KOs it, and Razor Leaf 2 does. I climb Mount Power just to be told I need to go and take on Leona. So I also find Hidden Power and I finally teach it to Bulbasaur. Lo and behold, Bulbasaur actually has Hidden Power Ground. That's actually kind of useful, and I'll explain why. We start the Leona fight, and I had to proxy grind to 92 because Winona's team hurts, and I'll explain here in a second. So Dirt Crow goes down to 3 Razor Leaves, and as you see, a Scarred Lugia. Scarred Lugia has raised base stat totals. By raised, I mean these are the equivalency of Mega Rayquaza. So I have to stall out with Scarred Lugia's signature move, Aeroblast. So we go for Leech Seed and Synthesis, and we just spam this. And every so often I throw in some Razor Leaves just so it can be killed. Slowly but surely, we finally beat this Mon, and she sends out her Grim Reaper. So I just set up Leech Seed, I spam my last few Synthesis, and we use Razor Leaf to whittle down this Mon, slowly but surely picking up this KO. And now I can talk about why we've taught Hidden Power to Bulbasaur. Again, like I said, we have Hidden Power Ground. I found this out by fighting random things in the wild. And this is a Scizor. So we go for Leech Seed and Hidden Power to just pick up game. Now for the fun part. Leona's brother fights you after this. I have to soft reset here because of this Ho-Oh. Because if you don't, it puts you outside the gym on the other side. So you have to walk back around, which takes about 30 minutes. This Ho-Oh has Sacred Fire, so I have to spam Synthesis while getting Psychic and Sacred Fired. I got lucky and picked up 3 PP maxes. I am so lucky right now. This Ho-Oh slowly but surely keeps whittling me down with EQ now because it's run out of power points, so I just keep spamming Razor Leaf, and this Ho-Oh finally falls to Leech Seed. And then this man sends out a Torkoal. I'm scared, so I just start spamming Hidden Power, and it's doing jack. So I go for Leech Seed. I miss the first one. I get the second one off, and he's now 2 double teams in, and I'm like, I'm never hitting this thing. He starts amnesiaing. I'm like, oh no. As you see, my HP constantly drops super low, and we just barely win off a Leech Seed. After we get lost in a dark cave for a few seconds, we finally make it out of this cave, and we find the 7 Deadly Sins. They fall pretty easily, so I'm just going to show the Tyranitar, which is the last member, and we get to meet Chloe inside their building, and Chloe reveals that she is one of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So we take her on using Razor Leaf, almost OHKOing Alakazam. He goes for Ice Punch, I go for Razor Leaf one more time with a crit, and then we get to fight Gengar, my bane of my existence. We go for Razor Leaf, half-healthing him. He goes for Hypnosis. I sadly lose the min-max roll. We wake up and we kill him with Razor Leaf. Comes out Persian. I go for Razor Leaf, almost OHKOing him, and then we go for Hidden Power. Still doing some decent damage. We KO a Razor Leaf. Wigglytuff comes out, and I just start spamming Hidden Power. I'm tired of this. We're just at OHKOing things. Aggron come out. We use Razor Leaf to OHKO him, and then comes out Face Leaf. We miss first Razor Leaf, and we hit the second one. We then meet Meteor in the Dragon's Den, and he tells me I can take on the Dragon's Gym now. The Dragon Gym all have 4 dragons, so I'm going to skip them because they're all the same, and then we lead into Kingdra. Kingdra is really strong. We go for Razor Leaf, almost KOing, and we hit with the second one. Then comes out an Altaria, so I'm a little worried, so I go for Synthesis, just put my HP back, and we go for a Leech Seed just to set up. We want that residual chip damage. We go for Synthesis one more time, and as you see, I'm running out of power points really bad, so we go for Razor Leaf, putting him just under half. We go for another Razor Leaf as he's doing Dragon Dance, so I'm scared. We keep going for Razor Leaf as it just whittles down Altaria for game. After Meteor, I have to fly back to the 7 Deadly Sins hideout because it's ran over by zombies, and we find the leader, Senex, who's another 4 Horsemen. So he starts off the fight with Hypnosis, so I'm just spamming Razor Leaf to wake up. We do wake up, and we actually set up Leech Seed after 2 Razor Leaves just so we can get some residual damage because he is starting an Uproar. 3rd Razor Leaf picks up KO. He sends out this thing. We go for Hidden Power, and it almost KOs. We go for the second one, and it lives on 1. I swear every Mon in this game has Focus Sash. So we just go for a residual setup, and we're just going to stall him out a little bit because he is hitting me with some really powerful moves, Dragon Dance, and he is setting up with Dragon Dance as well. So this thing is really becoming a problem. He hits me with Ice Beam, putting me just above half. So I just go for Synthesis one more time as he heals, because, you know, you can just kind of learn the AI in this, and we just spam Hidden Power until it faints. And then we get to see this thing. This thing technically has Wonder Guard. It has a pseudo variant of the ability, and it's a little weird, but you know what? It still falls to a handful of Razor Leafs for game. Let's talk about the E4. So this first fight is a prime example of what I had to put up with. Constant sleep, constant whatever, but I do want to talk about the strategy we went into, because I do the same strategy throughout all 4 fights. And fun fact, I actually had to redo this first fight. So I found out that you can get return on the island with Meteor. So I actually go back to an old save to go grab return to redo this fight. Sadly, I don't have footage of it, but I do have footage of the next one. Return helps out a lot moving into this upcoming fight, like this right here. As you see, we go for Return after getting hit with an EQ. Return puts Mons to half because Bulbasaur's friendship is to the max. He sends out Altaria. I hit Return, and it almost KOs it, and Return picks up the game. Moving into the Articuno, we do Return as well, and it's just the same setup. We move into the final fight. We do Return, Raichu puts me to paralysis, and we do Return for game. I walk up the stairs to the Champions room, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know what this dude has or anything, so we just saved the game, and I'm like, okay, if we could just spam Return and Hidden Power, we might be able to make it through. We walk into the Champions room, and I just get this battle started. He starts off the fight with Hitmon top, and I go for Return, putting him just into a quarter. We go for it again. He hits me with Aerial Ace, doing a quarter of my HP, and we pick up the KO with Razor Leaf. And then there comes this thing. This thing is the bane of my damn existence. Why? Because no matter the combination of moves I do, I can't KO the Mon. Sadly, we lose the run, and let me explain why. I think it's called Ram Shaker. Is that what it's called? Hold on. I have to like wait for it to come back on my screen. Yeah, Ram Shaker is a normal psychic type, and it has Tail Glow. So no matter the combination, I even do this fight trying with healing items because I'm just that curious. I spend 3 hours on this fight. I am unable to kill this one Pokemon. So sadly, can you beat Pokemon Snakewood with only a Bulbasaur? No. No, you can't. Sadly, we did not make it. That, what was it, Ram Shake, I think it was called? Yeah, that thing, it has elevated stats, so it's on par with a Groudon for some reason. But hey, you know what? That's all good. We attempted it. We got to the E4, a little bit of a slap in the face. I will see you guys next week, though, for our next challenge. I have not set it up yet, but I think you'll enjoy what we got.